Hey there, it's Brittany Chavers and I'm back today with a fun multi-strand necklace. We're going to be using the Color Classics line from Jessie James Beads. We're going to be using Honolulu Blue, the gold metal, which is really pretty. And I had some leftover steel blue from the adjustable bracelets that I made. Along with our Color Classic strands, we're also going to be using some medium soft flex beading wire in black onyx and the crimp beads of your choice. I'll be using Beadalon gold crimp beads today. And I'm going to open up my beads and decide my layout before I really do anything else. And I'm going to take out the silver on this strand, and just so we're left with the blue. I might use some beads from this Color Trends mix, Crystal Cave. Especially, I think we're going to use this big crystal on here. I might use some of these coins as well. I want 2 strands on this necklace, the focal of which on the longer one I want to be this large crystal. In the middle, I want this last Shambhala bead from the steel blue. I want to use some of these really bright blue ovals. All right, I have my pattern laid out, and I'm going to be using these, like I said in the beginning of the video, these crimp beads from Beadalon. We'll be making an illusion type necklace, but it won't be illusion because we can see the stringing wire, which I like the black, and it kind of gives a sophisticated touch to the beads. My longest strand is going to be about 23 inches long, and I want to add a few inches just to make sure that I have enough to crimp with at the end. And I am going to go ahead and put my largest bead, my middle bead, on. And I'm going to grab a crimp bead on either side. And I'm going to make sure everything meets in the middle. All right, so I've got in the middle, and these I'm going to flat crimp. I'm just going to go like that with my crimping pliers and flat crimp right onto the wire. And it's going to just look like a gold bead unless you're really up close and personal with the necklace. So I'm going to go ahead and crimp right there. And now we have our floating bead. I am going to go ahead and load on the rest of the beads for this piece, and then to do that, I'll need to make sure that before every section I put on a crimp, and right after every section I put on a crimp. So I want this gold bead to be by itself floating on the necklace, so I need 2 crimp beads, one on either side. Then I want this blue bead to be by itself, so I need another crimp bead before I put the blue bead on and put one on after it. So if you want single beads, you'll put a crimp bead on before and after. Now for this gold bead, the next section is 3 beads. I've got the dark blue, the light, the crystal rondelle spacer, and then the light blue, and then I'll put on another crimp bead. I'm going to go ahead and do that for the rest of this strand. All right, our 2 strands are strung, and they look gorgeous just like this. And I think this would be a beautiful necklace if you don't want to go the separated or segmented way. But that's the way we're going today. And I'm just going to move the beads. I'm going to try and be symmetrical, but I'm not going to get out like a ruler or anything. I really want this to be an easier project. So I'm going to go right here and squish my crimp bead. Now you want to be careful, don't chomp on them too hard because they can break. Just squish them and then move your bead down and squish the one next to the bead. So now it's stationary, that bead isn't going anywhere. I would recommend doing the 2 same beads at the same time so I'm not like trying to gauge them after I've done this whole thing. I'm gonna go over a little bit. There we go. You can use your tool to help you slide the beads where they need to be. Now we have our centerpiece, and I'm going to do that up the rest of the necklace. All of my beads are strung and in place, and I'm loving, loving, loving this blue on black with the gold. I just think that is so wonderful. I had a shirt like that a while back. But anyway, I'm going to make sure that my jump rings are securely closed. Sometimes they come like this with a gap. So I'm just going to close that up. You can also use a wire guard if you're really concerned, or a soldered closed ring. I'm going to take one of them and put it around my clasp. And then I am going to crimp onto my jump ring. I'll need 4 crimp beads. And I will crimp starting with the longer strand. I made them approximately 23 and 21 inches long, but I made sure to keep enough length to crimp on the back, so that it might end up being a little bit longer than that. I'm just making sure that my outside length will be longer than the inside length once it's finished. So I'm going to crimp right onto this jump ring. Trying to leave this pretty long on, pretty short on this side and longer on this side. And then we'll go ahead and folded crimp these, making sure that the wires are not crossed like that. I'll turn it 90 degrees and crimp again. There we go. And then I will snip, and I'll probably put a crimp guard or a crimp cover on, because I don't typically like how that transition looks. If you like it, that's fine. And it kind of just looks like a gold bead, and it'll be behind your neck, so you won't see it, but it'll look really nice finished like that. And then I'm going to take the other strand and do the exact same thing. I'll complete the other side, but I want to make sure that the wires don't get crossed, like these 2 strands don't get crossed when I'm crimping on the other side. Everything is crimped, and I'm just putting on my last crimp cover. These are a little big, but I liked this Stardust finish. These are from Beadalon as well. And you just want to close these. You don't want to try and close them all at once. You want to gently get them closed, because then they'll bend and you'll have to take them off and restart. Here we go. Now, this necklace is gorgeous. I'm going to add an extender on the back just so I can make it adjustable. And I just cut a piece of chain from Jessie James Beads and got a jump ring. And we'll add to the side that doesn't have the clasp. And to pretty that up a little bit, I'm going to grab a head pin and this little blue bead and do a wire wrapped loop. We'll slip on our chain. And wire wrap. And there we go. We have a double strand. Beautiful floating necklace. I love the two blues together with that bright gold and the dark black. I'm super excited about wearing this. I will definitely be wearing it during the holidays. I just got a yellow sweater that I think that'll look really nice with. And I am going to make a really quick pair of earrings. So I saved this little coin from the Crystal Cave mix. I grabbed a potato chip spacer, 3 of the sheriff stars. I know I have funny names for these. That's what they look like. And another potato chip spacer. And I put those on so that the curve is facing towards the bead, so not the little sheriff stars. And then this bright, beautiful blue oval. And then I'm just going to wire wrap the top using towards the end of my pliers so I can have a smaller loop because there isn't a ton of wire left on this head pin. And this is a 2-plier job because it's such a tiny piece of wire left. So hold it with the one pair of pliers and grab with the other. There we go, and we'll snip. And I have a Beadalon ear wire. And there we go. A cute little flashy pair of earrings, but I'm really in love with this necklace. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to Jessie James Beads for having me back, and I hope you enjoyed it. Have a good day. Bye-bye.